It says it's for tailors, dressmakers, milliners, and furriers. So yeah, so it's a 4-in-1 category. If you fall in any of it, if you have experience in any of those 4, all well and good. There are a lot of people that also came in through this route, and all they submitted was just maybe a trade certificate. Certificate. So far it can be verified, like your typical WAEC, your typical NECO, right? So I submitted it, and under 2 days, to my greatest surprise, I didn't even tell my husband about it because it was just casually done.
Yeah.
So after 2 days, I just got an email from Saskatchewan government.
Hi guys, welcome to Next Step with Cherry. So this year, like I said, you must move abroad. Yes. So this time we are going to talk about Canada, because Canada has been on everyone's list. My list too is also Canada. And I know that a lot of people have been looking at ways to move to Canada and how to move to Canada. And today I brought, with us like a very beautiful lady that knows information and have information about how you can move to Canada. And the good part of it is that she moved to Canada as like a teller, like with her teller job. She used her teller job to move to Canada. And we know that when it comes to Africa, the teller job is not really looked up to. Like if you ask someone, do you want to be a teller? That is not really looked up to. But do you know, like, this teller job is also in one of the demands in so many countries, among the skill shortage in so many countries. So that means that job that you're doing, and you think that it might not be in demand in Canada, my brothers and my sister, it might actually be in demand. So I would want you to watch to the end of this video, because I'm going to ask her the step-by-step how she did it, how she started, and how she stopped. And the good part of it is that she is now working her dream job in Canada now. And also she moved with her family. So that is really interesting. And I would want us to stick to the end of this video so that you will get all this information, and then you will know where to start. So if you're looking at moving to Canada this year, make sure that you watch this video so that you can get all the information. So without wasting much of our time, guys, remember to like this video and also share this video with your friends that are looking into moving to Canada. And also leave your questions on the comment section. She will as well attend to that whenever she's convenient. So without wasting much of our time, let us go straight to what we have. Hi, welcome. We are so grateful to have you in our channel today. And I would like you to introduce yourself or anything that you want us to know about you.
Thank you so much, Cherry. It's really a great honor to be here with you, doing this video with you. And I want to commend you. You're doing an excellent job, being selfless, putting all the information out there to help our brothers back home. I must commend you. Thank you so much, Cherry. Well, my name is Funkeshui, and I'm also a YouTuber. On my channel, I share with you some immigration opportunities, settlement opportunities, and also some business opportunities that will help you thrive wherever you find yourself. So I think that's it in a nutshell.
Thank you so much. So the another question that I would want to ask is that, like Canada is a little bit of a long process. And I know that anybody that is putting in Canada might actually have other options. So how was your journey? Like, how was it like during the first time? And also, did you have other options? Like, tell us the beginning of the journey.
Oh my God. Okay. So I'll say the entire journey, when we started sitting down as a family to consider relocating abroad, started more like in 2016. And yes, before then, we had the opportunity to travel for work, to also travel for vacation. But we wanted more in terms of taking the family and settling in a country so that we can have access to the various benefits that are available. And I think the first option we looked at was Australia. So back then, Australia wasn't as open as it is now. You rarely find a lot of information online. People were a bit enclosed when it comes to information online. So we decided to go with a consultant at the time. But one of the challenges we encountered was that she wasn't too open. She didn't
straightforward.
Wasn't straightforward. I think, with all due respect to a lot of consultants, immigration consultants, but this particular one, I had a very bad distaste. I guess she didn't want to, give us the options available because we're skilled workers back in Nigeria, but we didn't get the required support that we were looking for. So that actually discouraged us with pursuing our journey to Australia. Then we looked at Europe briefly. We weren't so clear about it. And then we decided to look at Canada, which we had some family friends, but of course, as I mentioned before, not everybody is willing to divulge information.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
so I think that the first step, or the first option when it comes to the Canada stream of migration was that we first started with the Ontario Immigration Nomination Program. Sorry, I'm looking at. I have
No,
this
it's okay. It's okay.
in both places. So we have the Ontario Immigration Program, which under that stream you have the Human Capital Program, which they target a lot of skilled workers from the country, and then if based on your occupation, they invite you to apply into the federal pool. So my sister, that was now going into 2018. We were there for a year. We didn't get any feedback. I put in my normal job, occupation on there.
Mm.
And did the same thing, and there was nothing, no response, no feedback, no draws. I think at that point in time they did a draw just one time that year. That was very discouraging. So at the tail end of that year, I became very impatient, and I said, you know what, let's look at other options. And then I
Mm.
started of research into other provinces in Canada. And
Exactly.
yeah, that was how the whole thing started, and that's how the entire immigration journey started.
Mm. We know that this Canada nominee stuff can be quite stressful and everything. But coming to that, like, how did this teller of a thing comes up, and how did the application process go? Like, can you briefly tell us, like, step by step method and everything that it took till the day that the email landed?
My God. You brought back sweet memory. But anyways, so that very day, as I shared in my channel,
Mm.
gave a more robust detail, and of course I'm going to do the same here as well. I got back from work. I got back pretty late, and on my bed, typical, when you're done with the children, you're done with cooking, you're done with dinner, I just went to the bed and I relaxed, and I was surfing the internet, and just to put it out there, it's important you, not like now you have a lot of information,
Yes.
eh,
Yes,
but
exactly.
at the same time, at that point in time, I was very I was very impatient. Like, I need to, people are going and people are unwilling to share this information with me. I need to do something about it. That was the attitude I had. And then I went into the federal express entry portal, the IRCC portal, to subscribe for their newsletter. I actually searched newsletter, and I subscribed for it so that whatever changes, whatever information,
Mm.
I'm able
You
to,
will be, yes, you will
yeah.
get
So
it.
yeah, so that was the starting point for me. So back to the story, I was just on my bed, and then I just saw something pop up: Saskatchewan Immigration Nomination Program, accepting tailors. So, so it came as a new NOC code. That is a new occupation that is in demand, and gave me the NOC code, and it says it's for tailors, dressmakers, milliners, and furriers. So
Mm.
yeah, so it's a 4-in-1 category. If you fall in any of it, if you have experience in any of those four, all well and good. So I went ahead to check the NOC code on the IRCC portal just to see what the job description is like, what the
Mm.
like, and they were like, okay, under that NOC, you have people that they call alterationists, and it's
Mm.
people that make amendments on clothes, which
Mm.
we all know them. We know them as Obioma, right?
Mm.
So
Yes.
I said, I can't do this now, and then they mentioned Tailor, and then they mentioned different type of, mini subcategory occupations that
Mm.
can also apply in there. And right there and then, because we already had an express entry profile,
Mm.
I said, okay, because the subcategory, the stream we applied through was the SIMP express entry stream. You have the SIMP occupation in demand stream, which is
Mm.
just go straight into the provincial portal and you apply. But for the SIMP express entry stream, you have to tie your express entry profile to SIMP. So it's more
Mm.
system working in one. So whatever information you put on the federal profile should be the same with what you have, what
Oh.
in the province profile. So that was how it started. I just went into my federal profile. That's my expression
Interest.
no, that's my express entry profile,
Mm.
and then copied my job seeker code number and everything, transferred it into, link it into the SIMP, and submitted an expression of interest.
Mm.
And everything happened on my phone, this same phone, just like I mentioned in, on my channel. Everything happened on my phone. I was just on my bed and I just made the submission casually. I wasn't expecting so much because I've been disappointed on different levels, right?
Breakfast up and down.
I've been, I've been served breakfast in different quarters. So, I submitted it. And under 2 days, to my greatest surprise, I didn't even tell my husband about it because it was just casually done.
Yeah.
So after 2 days, I just got an email from Saskatchewan government saying, you have been invited to apply.
Oh.
I just called my husband and said, see, this is what happened. This is what it is. He said, oh, yeah, let's do this. And just to add, it wasn't as if I fabricated it. Yes, I had a huge background, years of experience in tailoring. And I mentioned on my channel, my mom, used to have chains of, typical Igbo women. My mom is Igbo. So she had chains of businesses. And one of the business at the time was that she was a tailor. So she was really get contracts from all of these big companies. And so when you hire some tailors on contract maybe for 6 months to get those jobs done,
yes,
with one story or the other. So with the children, we had no choice than to learn how to sew, than to help her out.
Yes.
Meet up with the deadline of submitting or giving out those clothes that she had made. So that was how the interest of tailoring, of sewing started. And I also watched a lot of videos, went to an apprenticeship school to fine-tune my skills. That was how everything started. So basically, then I had time to also check the requirements. What is Canada looking for? What are the requirements when it comes to being a tailor? Then I realized that they're only asking if you have completed maybe a secondary school or a trade certificate. So you really do not need to have a degree.
Exactly.
Or a master's. But in my own situation, because I already had a master's degree, I had a all of those other things more like increased my points,
chances.
My chances on the application. But there are a lot of people that also came in through this route, and all they submitted was just maybe a trade certificate. Certificate. So far it can be verified, like your typical WAEC, your typical NECO, right? So that's it. And then you must be able to show that you can actually sew. You must be able to show proof. So that is where you need to maybe send pictures of you sewing, of what you have made. A way to verify your trade, because this time around you're not sending documents to WES for verification. You understand what I mean? But it's just for you to show proof. And that was how it started. I got the invitation to apply on the 17th of April 2019, and then it took about 4 months when the province issued the nomination certificate. And after the nomination certificate, automatically it puts you in a position where the federal government, as IRCC, will send you an invitation to apply. I mentioned, when you're going through a PMP program, that is a provincial nomination program, if the province says, okay, I've chosen this person, this certificate, then that means the federal will pick you automatically, based on the draws, and an invitation to apply. And then we started the federal application. We submitted that in December of the same 2019, because then the pandemic struck in 2020. So that increased the lead time. Normally, at the time, it was about 6 months, waiting period, but it stretched longer than normal. But thankfully, we got our what's it called, COPR. I think the first week of 2021. That was it. Was a good way to start the new. And when we got that, we said, thank God the wait is over.
Yeah.
That was the entire story. That was how.
That is really interesting. Thank you so much. So I would want to ask, because from what I've heard and what I've seen, it seems like people applying through the provincial, it's a little bit maybe easier through or through the federal express entry. I mean, like, what do you advise people that would want to put in for permanent residency? Is it does the provincial entry, or whatever it's called, more easy and more faster or something than the federal entry?
Yeah, so the provincial nomination program is, I would say it's better for a lot of people in terms of, meeting up with the eligibility criteria. And I'll go in depth with that. The express entry profile, you must have at least, number one, you must have, a CLB of 7 when it comes to IELTS, right? But when you go through the route of the province, most province will just request for CLB4 or
Mm.
which you can easily get.
Yes.
And then also for the express entry, that is the express entry portal, you have to get to a certain score. 400 is not enough. You must get as high as maybe 450, 480. I think now it's really
490 something, 500.
Which you cannot even attain it if you have a master's degree, or
Yes.
because the age factor is also there.
The problem,
So it's
yes.
also a problem. So when you go to the PMP route, it's a more friendlier option. It's a more
and it has like more daily kind of jobs, because they are the ones that the shortage affect, so they know what they want.
Exactly. So there are a lot of provinces that are experiencing shortages in terms of truck drivers, in terms of barbers, in terms of tailors, bakers, and based on the shortages they're experiencing, they've put it out there. We need truck drivers, we need tailors, we need this, we need that. So based on that, if they're able to get people outside to apply, to put in an expression of interest, then for them it has resolved that particular problem that they are facing that process. So I think it's more friendlier for people of different age group. If you are above 35, even if you are above 25, within those ranges, if you are even 50, just put it in, and you never can tell. A lot of time they bring down their
requirements
score just more people, to fill in.
Okay. Thank you so much. So guys, you can hear it, that there are a lot of provinces out there that are in search of like truck drivers. They have shortage in truck drivers and tailors and other occupations. So I would advise you, if you want to move to Canada this year through this express entry, you need to make sure that you get yourself equipped with the information. You need to make sure that you know exactly what is this provincial nominee program, what is this express entry. There are a lot of videos on YouTube that has explained it. You can go to our channel and check through our videos, and then you try to be able to know, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? What are the documents that I need? How can I apply? So you make sure that you equip yourself with that, and then you put in your application. So before we close, I would want to ask, for people out there that would want to apply, what do you advise them? How can they start to apply, and what should they have in mind? What should they bear in mind during the application process?
Okay, so I would say, first of all, when it comes to the documentation process, what you need to have if you plan on immigrating to Canada. I had just recently posted a video about that.
Okay, guys, just go to our channel to watch everything.
So things like your passport documents, those are mandatory, because that is more like a document that shows where you're from, who you are, so things like that is what I mentioned on there. Then also one thing about this process is that it's not cast in stone. It's not sharp. You put it tomorrow, you expect a result. It takes time. And I think one of the things that this process had taught me is patience. I've learned patience in a very hard way.
Your name is now Patience.
I think we African, we
like it hot, sharp.
Yes, exactly. So it has taught me patience, and preparation is key. When you have the documents, you do your research. Thankfully, you have people like Sherry, sharing daily information on the internet. You also have myself putting it out there, what you need to do, how you need to prepare. Then I think that alone has, reduced the amount of, number one, failure in terms of not putting in the right documentation.
Yes.
And has cleared a lot of air that you can actually do it. So one advice is, don't look down on your skill. If back then, people had told me, why are you sewing? Well, the way we Africans, we look down.
Regards.
If I didn't, learn in a hard way then, because it's as if I enjoyed sewing when my mom would say, oh, yeah, sit on the machine and sew, but because as a creative person, I grew a lot of interest in it, and I took it up. Don't look down on any trade, any occupation whatsoever. You have a lot of people coming in here as a farmer. They come in here with their entire family, and Canada is a wonderful place, a very good place for you to maybe start afresh, for you to build good for you to build good relationships, for you to basically have the best of quality of life. So do not look down on it. Be patient, do your research, and nothing is difficult, when it comes to you attaining what you really want to attain.
Thank you so much. That was really wonderful. So, guys, like I said, I'm going to keep the link on the description. And if you've watched till here, I want to say a very big thank you. And remember to like this video and as well share with your friends. And also, you can ask any question that you want. And of course, guys, if there is any province that is nominating and I just see it on our channel, I will rush and bring her here so that she will tell us about it. But you guys can as well subscribe so that you'll be the first to see it even before I bring her. So, guys, thank you so much for watching till here. And I really appreciate you being in our channel today. And I hope that we will do this next time. Guys, have a
Definitely.
wonderful day. See you.